Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot. I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner and psychic for over 35 years. This video is a little self-indulgent, but I figure it's fun because it's a holiday weekend. I just found out about one of my ancestors. His name was John Howland. He was actually on the Mayflower until he wasn't. He's the boy who fell off the Mayflower. So it's a miracle that my family line has survived. We're going to talk to him in just a minute. Welcome back, you Tarot Maniacs. So this is something a little bit different. It's so much fun. So I recently found out that I'm a descendant of John Howland. Now, don't get excited because he's got 3 million descendants that can trace their lineage to him. But John Howland literally fell off the Mayflower and still made it to Plymouth Rock. He didn't swim all the way to Plymouth Rock. He grabbed onto a rope as it went by. But he was born in 1593. He was an indentured servant who accompanied the English separatists and other passengers as they left England on the Mayflower to settle in the Plymouth colony. So this is really very, very cool. I couldn't resist doing this. We're actually gonna talk to my ancestor, see what he thinks of what I do. But if you're curious about what your ancestors think about you, you can book your own private reading with me. There's a link down below. I'm running a sale all summer. You could also do past life regression with me. I should have another group coming up, so you can go and meet some of your ancestors in that. Quick and easy and a fun little vacation. Any short questions you have, you can always send me a WhatsApp request. I do have that listed in my scheduler, and there's a link down below. So love to see some of you over there. I am going to be off for the holiday weekend, but I'll be right back at it on Tuesday. And as always, make sure that you go check out Otter Spirit. I am one of their ambassadors. It's an amazing company that sells real crystal jewelry with intention, and you can raise your vibration and hopefully not sink under the waves like my ancestor didn't. I'm going to bring up the cards in just a second. Make sure you hit the like button as we do this, and let's giddy up. Let's see what this guy has to say to me. I'm always so nervous about interacting with ancestors. And like I said, I really didn't know about this one. I know on my biological father's side, his parents were very much into genealogy. Through them, I did find out that we were related to Herman Munster, Fred Gwynn, and also Benedict Arnold. So sorry about that, guys. Like, hope that shadiness doesn't follow over here. I'm sure somebody's going to clip this and be like, aha. So John Howland, great uncle, grandpa, whatever. He actually had 10 children. His spouse, her name was Elizabeth Tilley. And out of those 10 kids, like, dang, like, I guess that's why he has 3 million descendants. But who were you really, John Howland? Besides being a indentured servant and later an executive assistant and personal secretary to Governor John Carver. Again, I don't think I said he was born in 1593. He did pass away February 23rd in 1673. So he had a nice long life. That's a pretty long life. Kind of surprised. I guess that's where some of my family gets longevity. So, and just for fun, he was born in Fenstanton, Huntingdonshire, England, around 1592. I think they are. That's a wiggly date there. So let's see. Who were you really, John? What were you like? Tell me a story about what you were like. Two of Swords. Very disappointed with the kind of person that he had to be. So there was a great deal of imbalance between the professional persona and the personal persona. I think there was a professional veneer that he put out that was very different from what he was like at home. And in that transition between those two different personas, he did kind of feel like he was never really his true self. So I'm sorry to hear about that, John. Down here on the bottom, there was something much more dynamic about him, but the level of responsibility that he felt for work, and I think that this comes from being an indentured servant because he had to work in order to meet that debt. I do think that there were some other things that he would have liked to have done. The work that he did was because he had to do it, not because he wanted to do it. I also feel that he never really fulfilled the mental capacities that he had. He was given, short form work is the term that's coming to mind. Short form work, things that were easy to accomplish, and he does wish that he could have done it all over again. Do you wish you could have stayed back in England? The life in the colonies was very hard. I think he does think that he would have been more successful had he been able to stay in England, that he would have been able to establish himself somewhat better. So, what were you thinking when you fell off the Mayflower? So, as the story goes, and I'll also link I'll link the wiki here so you can go check it out. So by the second month out, the ship, so Mayflower departed Plymouth, England, September 6th or the 16th, 1620. It was a small 100-foot ship that had 102 passengers on it and a crew of about 30 to 40 in extremely cramped conditions. By the second month out, the ship was being buffeted by strong westerly gales, causing the ship's timbers to be badly shaken, with caulking failing to keep out seawater, and with passengers even in their berths getting wet. How terrifying could you even imagine? Yes, this combined with a lack of proper rations, sanitary conditions for several months contributed to seasickness. On the way there were 2 deaths, a crew member and a passenger. After arriving in their destination in the space of several months, almost half of the passengers perished in the cold, harsh, unfamiliar New England winters. During the voyage, there was a turbulent storm during which Howland fell overboard and managed to grab a topsail halyard and that was trailing in the water and was hauled back to safety. Wild. So that is the story. Unbelievable. So on November 9th or the 19th, 1620, after about 3 months at sea, including a month of delays in England, the crew and passengers spotted land, which was Cape Cod Hook, now called Provincetown Harbor. After they struggled for several days to get south to their destination planned. Their destination was the colony of Virginia. Strong winter seas forced them to return to the harbor at Cape Cod Hook, where they anchored November 11th or 21st. On November 11th, 1620, the Mayflower Compact was signed. Howland was the 13th of the 41 principal men to sign. So this is really a tremendous thing for me. So what was going through your mind when you fell off the Mayflower? And to be sure, when my sister told me you fell off the Mayflower, I was like, oh, like, is this where I get my clumsiness from? What were you thinking? It was a reckless moment, and he did think that he was going to be left in the water. He thought he was out on his own. So what do you attribute, John, catching that rope to? Do you think it was just chance? Do you think it was God? What was it? He does think that it was the hand of God that came in and gave him a little bit of help there, only because he had other things that he needed to do in the world, other things. So, what energy have you passed on to your lineage, me and the other 3 million of us? There's a lot of us here. What kind of energy have you passed on to us? So, not to forget our roots. So, I'm glad they found out about you, Uncle John. Not to forget about our roots, but that the roots sometimes can get plucked out and we can establish anew. The entrepreneurial spirit, even though he did in that previous spread suggest that maybe it would have been safer to have stayed in England, this says sometimes we do need to go out there. And an independent spirit, a spirit of learning on one's own rather than relying on the tutelage of another is super, super valuable. What do you have to say to me specifically? Are you going to say put down the tarot cards? Hold fast, hold fast. And don't plant those roots because success is not there yet. That's not what I want to hear. Oh, fight the change, fight the change, fight the change. You know, one of the things that he is telling me is that I need to look back more often. I need to look backward more often. So I'm looking back to you, Uncle John. Back to you, Uncle John. What would you like to see me do differently? Oh, better yet. What advice do you have for me as I continue our legacy? What advice do you have for me as I continue our legacy? So I think I got the itchy feet that Uncle John, great Uncle John. I don't know if he's a great uncle, great grandfather, what he is, but this intrepid spirit, he wants me to flex that more, break through to new places, new things, new exciting adventures. Will do, sir. I will certainly do so. Do you have any messages for the other 2,999,999 other ancestors? I had no idea our family was so big. Do you have any messages for the rest of them? What do you want to say to the collective, all the people that have come down from the seed of your loins? What do you got to say? Blessings rain down upon all of us, and he wants us to not be patient. He wants us to go forth to carve out our place in this world. So let's go, Uncle John, great Uncle John. I don't know if he's great uncle, but let's go. We are going to do this. And I think me and all the other Howland descendants are very, very pleased that you grabbed that rope, that the hand of God intervened, and that you made it to the shores of Massachusetts. Fortunately, we're all here as a result of it. So, sir, hats off to you. Hats off to you for being able to take a bad situation, flip it around, and make it good. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, if you want to talk to some of your ancestors, if you want to find out what their messages are, you can book a reading with me down below, or you can even do past life reading. Maybe we'll go for a walk in their shoes. Maybe we'll check that out. So hope to see some of you on my schedule after the holiday weekend. Until then, peace be with you. Enjoy the fireworks, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thanks so much.